Good morning, ladies. How are you, my wonderful, confident, successful businesswomen? Welcome to Thursday morning. And we are currently doing our Business Members Spotlight, where we interview one of our amazing members of the group every single week to find out about you and your business and how you can help each other as confident, successful businesswomen all the time. Today's wonderful guest, we have Rowena Preddy. How are you, Rowena?
Good. I'm coming to you from sunshiny Cairns, which has finally actually put on some sunshine. So
lovely. Whoops, no, I'm just making sure I can see people's comments. Yeah, so it is nice and sunshiny up there at the moment.
We've had 2 weeks of rain, which of course makes total sense considering it's the dry season. But no, it's been wonderful up here at the moment. I have my mum here after 3 years of lockdowns and not being able to see her from New Zealand. It's great. Like, it's just been wonderful being able to reconnect with family again and have that kind of just, but I did demand that every 6 months that she wasn't able to come, she had an extra week to her stay. So she's here for almost 5 weeks. So
that's amazing. Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah. I like that idea. That's a good idea. Bit of bartering going on there. Yeah. All right, Rowena. So we are here to learn all about you and your business this morning. So what I would love for you to tell us is, first of all, what you do and how you came about to do it.
So I am a bold branding and magazine designer. Both of those things have come about quite organically through my career. And so I've been a graphic designer for as long as I can remember. It's 20 plus years now. Wow. And as soon as I discovered it, I knew it was what I wanted to do. I was so passionate about it. And it was just this amazing cross section between, I was the smart kid that wasn't supposed to take art. Oh, so it really, like, it was a perfect balance for me, being able to actually use the smarts on the branding side and really like dig into research and really understand a problem, and then being able to express it in a creative way. So it's been a great career that I've been able to find the balance between the two. I think I would have been a terrible artist, and but I also feel like I would have been a very, very sad accountant. So it's a good, nice middle ground.
I like that. A terrible accountant. Yeah, okay. That makes total sense. So yeah. I love the way you've kind of put it together perfectly.
Yeah. So I spent the first, 12 years of my career working for the man. And when I say working for the man, I mean literally. If you've seen Mad Men, a lot of advertising firms still carry on that kind of genre of how things work. You got to wear the short skirts to get ahead, you got to flirt, you got to do all that sort of stuff. And it just wasn't who I was. And it really creatively stifled me. And I started to go, is this really the career I have chosen? That, I'm supposed to kiss butt to get somewhere. And I'm like, no, I want to get somewhere on my own merits. I want to get somewhere because I actually know I'm really good at this. Like, it was just this innate instinct that I knew that I had something more to offer than being put into a box because I wouldn't do these things.
Yep.
And I moved into a role when I moved to Australia, popped out 2 kids unexpectedly.
As you do.
And worked for an organization which, as much as it taught me some of the bad things that can still happen, it also taught me the breadth of my strengths. So I got built up to being in a communication manager's role. They had about 12 sub-organizations. I was running myself as a designer as well as a team. And what it really taught me is what I wanted from my career. And then my position was made redundant. And I couldn't face going backwards. I couldn't face going back to someone else choosing my path anymore. So my redundancy payout gave me a nice little buffer to set myself up in business. And I've been in business for 4 years now. And I really get how it can be a roller coaster. You get really sure about what you think you want from it. And being an entrepreneur is literally, it goes hand in hand with personal growth. So every time you have a burst of personal growth, you'll have a burst or a realization or a clarity in your business. And it's made me realize how important it is to invest in both.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because every time I do, like, for instance, in my personal life recently, we've had like some dramas. We've been trying to buy a house and move 1,500 k's away, and all the like puzzle pieces that are supposed to be going together. And it ultimately fell to pieces recently. All within the space of a week, we were going to be buying a house, and then it all fell to pieces. And we've, you know, but I feel like the resilience, the ability to actually, you know, think about, well, actually, there's more than one way to meet a goal. There's more than one way to brand a business. There's more than one way to do these things. Let's figure out another solution.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and that leads me to today. A couple of years ago, I also sort of started up a secondary business. In a sense, it kind of started as a passion project. In my role where I worked for the many organizations, we put out a magazine, and I fell in love with magazine design.
Awesome.
I loved the stories of it. I feel like so often with branding, you sort of put people in a little box and send them on their way. And magazine design for me really got into the crux and into the heart of the stories behind why people do what they do, and why organizations exist to support people, or why businesses, or, you know, the growth and evolution. And I really enjoyed that. And after a couple of years of being in entrepreneur land, sitting in my chair by myself in my pajamas a lot of the time, or in my activewear if I was feeling particularly flash, I started my own magazine.
Wow, awesome. That's amazing.
Magazine work is the unicorn of the design world. So I was like, you know what? If I'm not going to get magazine work, I'm just going to create my own magazine, because then I can be my own boss at it. Of course, it was like not that simple. And it's been a giant learning curve. But the thing I've learned most is that connection is the most important thing through branding, through business, through life. It is the most important thing. And so the magazine that I've put out is called Brand New Magazine, and I put it out for women to be able to find those connections in business and celebrate their unique stories and their unique ways they've got to where they are. I would love to say it's purely for other people, but there is definitely a distinct selfish component in that. Right. Each magazine has a theme. And so it's helped me explore different themes about how I'm feeling, or how, because I know that other people will be feeling the same way, and it instantly fosters that connection. So we've had the colourful issue. I love colour. When you check out my website, you will see the same thing.
Yes, you will. I love your website. Oh my gosh.
And I've had the profesh issue, which was very much looking into, you know, people who ended up in professional careers, but then kind of went left field. You know, which a lot of us have done. We've redefined the stereotypes around our
industries. I think it's amazing. Yeah. And I think most of the time this is why we've come into business, isn't it? Because our professional, like me, you know, my professional career just went left field, like you said. And here we both are running our own business. And I love that sometimes you said you were made redundant, and sometimes that is literally the best thing that can happen to us.
Yeah.
In a roundabout, it doesn't seem like the best thing at the time.
Oh, I got very happy with my laptop sitting by the pool for a while. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
The seriousness come into it.
Yeah, so that's awesome. That's really good. So you're now doing your branding business as well as your brand. Is it Brand You magazine? Is that
Brand You magazine? So that it's kind of central to both my businesses is the idea that you're uniquely you. You have unique offerings to put out into the world. And I feel like so often I see it in branding all the time that people want to keep up with the Joneses. I want what they're having. I want what they're having. They're having success at that, so I need to follow that or copy that or do that. Whereas a big part of what I do during my branding process that I feel like is a little bit special is that, especially when you're an entrepreneur, so ultimately you are everything. You are at the beginning, you are everything. And ultimately the central crux to why you're in business is because you have a purpose. And that purpose can be different to the person next to you. You know, everyone says the word coach, or everyone says the word graphic designer, or everyone says the word, but what ultimately makes it different is your belief systems, why you're in it, and who you are.
100%.
So it's a big part of what I build into my branding process, where I dig into your likes and dislikes. We find something that's that amazing cross section of who you are and what you want to do in your business. Like that, finding that that magic sweet spot. And Brand New magazine's about that as well. It's about celebrating that we're all different in different ways. There's enough room for all of us. Let's just kumbaya it and support each other rather than pull each other down.
I actually really respect that, especially in the branding side of it, because I know that when I started up I was the Motivation Mama at the time, that was my business name, and my branding I set up because, like you said, trying to keep up with the Joneses, it was like, oh, this is what I think I have to have. Oh, I like that color from that person, or I like that picture from that person. I'm just going to copy all of that and put it in together to kind of make a brand. And when I sit back now and I look at that brand back then, I go, my God, that was just not me.
But you know what? As a branding designer, I did exactly the same thing when I went into business.
I know.
And it's connected to fear.
100%. Yes, I agree.
All connected to fear. And once you address what those fears actually are, a big part of what I like to do, and it's one of my favorite things to do with people, is try and challenge their conceptions of comparison.
Yeah.
So, you know how everyone says, oh, do a competitor analysis. Like, it's like this simple thing to remove emotion from. Like, it's so clinical and so practical. Like, it's not. No, it's not. It's going to dredge up a lot of things. And so one of the things I like to get people to do is go, sure, set aside some time and set aside some clarity and some space, like literally and figuratively. Like, you know, if you have to have a cuddly blanket because you feel like this is going to be tough, do that. And stalk people, your competition, but do it with a very particular formula. And it's not any like big long-winded thing. Go in and look at what you like, write down what you like, okay? And try and tap into like beyond, oh, I like the color. Like, that's some of it, but maybe like, what about the color do you like? Oh, it's very calming. Okay, that's a positive thing. You know, you really connect with the calming nature of it. Or I love their words. I really get pulled into their story and who they are, and I feel like I know them. Cool. That's much better than just saying, oh, my copywriting shit. No. Theirs is good, and why is it good? It's really tapping into those things. And I also do get them to do the same with their dislikes. So it's like, oh, ooh, I wouldn't do that. Like, that's, you know, not who I am. Like, that's very like, oh no, that no. So I get them to analyze that, but that's usually where people stop.
Okay.
What they need to do is figure out what they can take from this analysis. So you know how I said, you know, instead of just saying, oh, I like the blue, oh no, I like the blue because it's a calming feel. Okay, so a calm, soothing space is important to you. Let's make that as something that you need to inject into your brain because it makes you feel something and it connects with who you are. Okay, so you don't like how busy their website is. Okay, cool. Let's find let's make that a focus. Let's make a part of your branding and a part of how you put yourself into the world is that it's very clean and modern and fresh and not cluttered. So then you can remove yourself from that person. It sort of starts to go, well, I've you know, I can be inspired and stuff like that, but I've got a takeaway.
Yeah, and what you can do with all those takeaways, and then like you said, you make it how do I want to put this? It comes back to just being you, because you said it before, like your business, you are your business. So you have to feel comfortable in it, right? Now when I look, you know, like I said before, when I was doing my branding colors, they were boring as shit. I'm just going to say it. They really were. But now I look at my branding, because I went through the whole process. I think it was about start of last year. And I love my colors. It's so much more than the colors, because it's me. My whole branding is me, and I can feel like I can come and be me. And this is something that I'm sure you would see a lot, is that, like you say, people are coming in doing what they think there is expected of them, but they're going in and then they're going into their business and they're not feeling that they're able to be themselves because of the branding that they've set up.
Yeah. And a huge part, and I think that this is where the definition between what a logo or just some colors in a logo.
Yeah, there's so much more
between that and a brand. So to me, a brand is meaning. It's like you're doing something with meaning and purpose. And that needs to be the foundation to everything you do. So for example, another example of what I like to take people. So I have this thing, and I feel like corporate embedded this me. Corporate was all about freaking manuals and like rules, and like I just glazed over. Like unless I have a singular, clear takeaway of why I'm doing something and what I get to do with it, I zone out, which is a big part. I'll talk about this later. It's a big part why I've got some new branding packages that I've created. I get bored. And the thing is that it's not a bad thing. What it is that a combination of skills have led to me to be really good at what I do, really fast at what I do, and also really focused on what I do. So people can actually like work with me in a really fast, succinct way and get what they want. But like, that's part of my brand. Like it's my energy now. You can probably get
energy, yes.
Yeah.
And that's, you go on your website and you can feel your energy. That's why I love it so much. Oh my God, seriously, ladies, you need to check out Rowena's website. It's awesome. Sorry, go on.
No, and that's exactly it. It's and so many people will come to me, okay, cool. And I'm sure everyone here knows the checklist. You know, the checklist, the endless checklist of things that you've got to do. And it's just like, okay, cool, I want to put a tick in that box. And I get it. But there's more to branding than that. So like, for instance, if you have a really clear idea of what your brand values are, that's a big part of what I try to do. And like I was saying before with the corporate, like very intense, broad things, for me, I need to drill it down to something very, very simple. And so, for example, my brand values, I've gone through a lot of process. These are adaptable as well. And that's the other thing I'll say about branding. It's an evolution, it's a process. But I've come down to my brand values. Everything in my brand needs to go through that. So if you guys are popping over and having a look at my website, see if you can feel these things, okay? So clearly I'm not shy. So I'm pretty bold, right? So bold is one of my core traits. Now, instead of just going, oh, bold, black and white, bright colors, bold, I'm bold in everything.
Yeah.
Like it's not just bold, like it literally, but my clients need me to be bold because ultimately they might be feeling nervous or hesitant or any of those sorts of things. They need me to be bold. They need me to share that like level of confidence with them. And confidence is my next one. So confidence is another one where I can talk shit to strangers for like, it embarrasses my children and my husband. Like it's just who I am. And that level of confidence, like I feel like that I instantly try to find ways to make connections with people. It's who I am. I can talk, you know, about the hard stuff. I can talk about the, you know, funny jokes and full of puns. If you, again, look at my website again, you'll see how much I love a pun, and dad jokes and stuff. I think dad jokes are great. So that's one of them. Another one is honesty. I realized that corporate was a lot of freaking lies and it really grated on me. Yeah. I hated the fakery. I hated the, as I've already mentioned, I hated the kiss ass side of things and stuff like that. So honest is one of my brand values. I've told clients, I'm sorry, I genuinely don't think you're quite ready to work with me.
Awesome.
Because
that's a sign of growth. That's amazing.
You know, like I'm not going to take someone's money and do something just because they think that's the right thing. I'm going to find a way to guide them, and I'm going to find a way that it actually means that it has the most impact possible. So that honesty goes both ways. It can be tough love, it can be nice love, it can be, you know, all of those things, but at its core is honest. And you know, you go onto my my website again or on my social medias, you will see me being truly purely who I am, and it's another form of honesty.
And that's one of your, I know that you've said that in your introduction, it's something like, what is it? Your strict no BS policy or something like that, which I thought was brilliant. That to someone like me, who also has the same similar policy, right? I don't say it as outright as that, but I love that you say it. I read that and I went, I love this woman, right? Because this is what we're talking about, you know, obviously your brand, the way you present yourself in business is going to relate to certain people. And
but it's not going to relate to everyone. It's not
Yeah,
going to relate
exactly.
to everyone. There's going to be certain people going, oh no, that doesn't feel right to me.
Much, yes.
That's great, because that means that you've actually got another thing that you can now cross me off the list and move on to the person that might be right for you.
Yeah.
Because that's what I mean by there's enough space for everyone. Like,
Oh,
I'm not for everyone, but the people I am for are my people.
Yeah, that's right. And then so you mentioned that you had something new coming up. I know we spoke about it a little bit before we jumped on this interview, but I want you to share it with us.
So, as I mentioned, I've done a lot of things in my 4 years in business, which was the shoulds. You know, I worked with a design mentor, I've worked with coaches, and, you know, everyone's like, you know, you must have this amount of packages, it must take this amount of time. The only way you are going to make more money is by like increasing the price on your packages. And again, all those shoulds trapped me into a box. So what I did was I took it's happened over time, and it was one of those light bulb moments. Like, it wasn't like a slow building and it just happened and I put in all the work. Like, there was just this literal light bulb moment where I was like, I can't work like this anymore. So I've created, and as I've already mentioned, I love a pun, I love a dad joke. So I've created a package which works best to how I work, but it also solved a lot of problems for the clients that I was working with and the people that I found were just falling out of some of the packages that I was offering, price-wise, time-wise, those sorts of things. So the quickie. So the quickie is my new branding package that you can get a new logo in 2 days. And a lot of people go, what? You can't do that. And I was like, I've got the experience.
Yeah, you can.
I work best when I'm fast. I work best under pressure, but I'm also, it's not that I don't want to rush people, because I've actually got amazing processes that help guide people through the process. They feel really empowered by it rather than like pushed into it. So the quickie is able to be added on. You know, if you want to make it a longie, you can. So you can add days to it.
I love it. I just love it.
So you can add like social media day on, you can add like a print day, but we literally get everything smashed out on that day because we do so much really stringent pre-work that I've actually tried to make it fun. So like it actually feels like you're actually taking time for your business and digging into it. But basically, wham, bam, thank you, brand. You'll literally have it sorted in like 2 days. All done.
There's your tagline as well. Wham, bam, thank you, brand.
Yep. Funny you should say that. Yeah. So it just really addressed a lot of things I missed when I first went into business, as we all do. I went and worked with a lot of people that were new to business in a similar space to me and offered my services at a discounted rate. And as I started to work through business, yes, I found some amazing clients that I've been able to work with. And, you know, they've got pretty, you know, high level visions for things. They've really needed like a very thorough brand package, which has gone, you know, over weeks and sometimes months. But I missed the buzz. I missed the buzz of the people that were really excited and really passionate and really like go like that buzz. And I wanted to find a way that I could balance price against how I work best to being able to offer a solution. So all of my packages come with Canva templates. You get every single instance of a file that you could possibly need. So that's not just your logo in like a little JPEG and you have to pay extra for it. You get everything. It's done. You know, you've got it for life, basically.
Yeah.
And a big thing that always I found a lot of clients struggled with was implementation. So I've really focused on how to guide. So I offer a week's support afterwards, plus a guide on how to implement what you've been handed over, so that it doesn't just sit on your computer staring at you kind of grudgingly going, hello, remember me? We did that thing. No, you can get it done and get it out, and you have my support to do so, because that's the level of energy I like to run at. And I love seeing people that I've had one person go through this package 4 times.
Oh, wow.
For 4 different parts.
Wow.
Like, so she's got very many fingers and many pies, we'll put it that way.
Yep.
And she said that every single time she goes into it, she's like, I keep trying to have to think up new businesses so I can do this with you again, because it's so much fun.
Oh, that's good. Wow.
So.
That is amazing, Rowena. Look, it's quite clear that I love your energy. Like I've said before, I think It's almost like we're a very similar person, not shy.
We've had this conversation before where we just literally felt like we could talk for hours.
Oh God, yes, we could. And I love that when I jump on to do these interviews, it's like so many of the ladies, I'm like, I could talk for hours, but we've all got a business to run. Now, speaking of running a business, so you just shared a few of your products with the ladies. If they would like to get in touch with you further, do you offer a call? Do you offer them to how do they get in contact with you, basically?
So there's a few different ways that you can work with me. One, obviously through my business, Preddy Creative. Again, another pun because my last name is Preddy. And so I offer a free brand chat. And you can book that through my website, which, please note, there's certain things being updated with these new packages. This is kind of like a prequel, like, possibly like a little bit, it's coming a little bit soon, but, just excuse the pun.
You do love the pun.
But yes, pop on, you can book a brand chat and book it straight away. It's no problem whatsoever. All free, all no obligation, all that stuff. Like, to tell you the truth, I just get bored during the day, so it's really lovely to meet new people. And I will, like, I typically always, no matter whether you work with me or not, I can't resist. I will be giving you some hints and tips, like, so I will casually be stalking you and checking out things, and I'll have some hints and tips for you no matter what. The other way that you can work with me is, one, you can pop over to Brand You magazine and subscribe. It is free, absolutely free. So you can get I think we're up to something like 50 pages, free digital magazine into your inbox. The previous issues are available live on issue. You need to subscribe to get future issues. But again, I don't have time to be like spamming you and stuff because I got better stuff to be doing. So, it's all about people connection. You can also be in that magazine in a few different ways as well. I have applications open. I have themes for each magazine, as I stated. So I always need a constant flow of people so that I can sort of figure out who to slot into the right themes. And I also have options for advertising in that magazine. So you can actually reach the people that are that audience, and they're an amazing bunch of people. I still pinch myself at the people I get to work with in that magazine, like Anita Seek. I've worked with Sheree Clonan from the Digital Picnic. I'm not sure if anyone here knows the Rise with Reels girls, but they were in our last issue. They were awesome. So yeah, like, honestly, it's a great magazine, and it's really inspiring, and it's my, I know it's cliche, but it's my passion project. Like, I love it.
It's not cliche. It's your baby. It's your passion project. I love that. I love that. So I have really, honestly, I have enjoyed speaking with you this morning, Rowena. Thank you so much for coming on. Again, if you would like to, I can see that my beautiful assistant has put a few links in on how you can connect with Rowena. Be sure that you do go and check her out, because this is a lady who is clearly very vibrant, knows what she's talking about, and you will be looked after. Oh, stop it, she says. Stop it, but don't. That's what you mean. So thank you so much, Rowena. It's been incredible.
As always, honestly, anytime. And like I said, please jump on and book a chat with me, because it gets pretty lonely up here. So I'm more than happy to have a chat and help anyone out that wants to have a bit of a chat about their branding or anything else, life.
Love it, ladies. All right. Thanks, ladies. We'll see you again next week for another Business Members Spotlight. Okay.
Ciao.
Bye.